Yes, it is. It is. I'm born in Maastricht, I live in Maastricht, and I'm going to die in Maastricht. Because he was not proud of.
André Rieu was overjoyed to announce his new album, Happy Together, a project that marked a joyful reunion with his beloved orchestra after a long hiatus. Yet, even as this moment of celebration unfolded, a dark cloud loomed over his musical journey. A new wave of heartbreak has swept through Hollywood as devastating news about the legendary maestro comes to light, revealed not by Rieu himself, but by his son. For over half a century, André Rieu, hailed as the king of the waltz, has enchanted audiences across the globe with his mesmerizing music, grand performances, and infectious charm. But recently, a string of cancelled concerts had fans growing uneasy. Speculation about his health intensified, and while no official confirmation had been given, the silence was telling. Now, that silence has been broken. In a moment of visible distress, Rieu's son has confirmed what many feared: the beloved violinist is facing a serious health battle. Could this illness signify the end of an era? As we uncover the emotional details surrounding Rieu's diagnosis and his son's heartfelt message, it becomes clear this isn't the first time the maestro has had to fight for his health. André Rieu's career has always been one of passion and tireless dedication. As the driving force behind the Johann Strauss Orchestra, his concerts have captivated fans of all ages. Yet behind the music was a man pushing his body to the limit. Back in 2010, Rieu prided himself on never taking a sick day and even claimed to be immune to jet lag, despite his constant globe-trotting. But that changed during a holiday in Belgium when, at 3 a.m., he was suddenly jolted awake by a wave of dizziness so severe that the room spun uncontrollably. The next morning, he felt utterly broken. Leading up to that moment, Rieu had been overworked, finishing a DVD production, cramming Spanish lessons for an upcoming Mexican tour, and enduring extreme heat. He later admitted that he operated in only two modes, full throttle or total shutdown. Though he believed that happiness and mental strength could protect him from illness, reality struck hard. Doctors diagnosed him with a vestibular nerve infection, a condition that disrupts the inner ear's balance system and can be triggered even by something as common as a cold. The symptoms were brutal: dizziness, nausea, and a complete inability to stand without feeling unwell. Reluctantly, Rieu had to cancel tours in Australia and the UK, a decision that weighed heavily on him not just emotionally but financially, given the team he supports. A brain scan ruled out more serious conditions like a tumor, but the experience was sobering. Fans from around the world offered support. One Australian fan even mailed him a list of balance exercises: walking in figure eights, specific eye movements, standing on one leg with eyes closed. Rieu followed them religiously, and after 3 months, he was well enough to return to the stage. That recovery sparked a profound transformation. Rieu reassessed his lifestyle, creating 2 lists, one with tasks he loved, mostly related to music, and another filled with duties that drained him. Determined to protect his health, he resolved to eliminate the latter. From that point on, he claimed to prioritize joy, passion, and well-being in all he did. Experts warned that vestibular neuritis can relapse, especially under stress, a risk Rieu took seriously. He made it his mission to focus only on what he loved. Now, years later, those fears have returned. In an emotional revelation, Rieu's son confirmed that his father is once again grappling with a serious health concern. The news triggered haunting memories of his past health battles and raised painful questions: is this another relapse, or something more severe? Everything had been planned with precision. After 6 long years, André Rieu and his orchestra returned to Mexico. Fans were ecstatic, the show sold out, and the first 2 concerts in Mexico City went off without a hitch. But then, disaster struck. Less than a day after his second performance, Rieu fell seriously ill. What began as fatigue quickly escalated into a full-blown flu, complete with a high fever and total exhaustion. The tour had to be cancelled. Pierre Rieu, André's son, later explained the harrowing situation. The long flight, the intense time difference, and the high altitude of Mexico City took a toll on the 74-year-old musician. With only 1 day to rest before his first performance, his body was simply overwhelmed. What started as a minor discomfort spiraled into a major health crisis. The team had no choice but to fly André home immediately. Fans were devastated. Many had waited years for the maestro's return, and the concerts had been carefully choreographed. The emotional blow rippled beyond the audience. The entire crew was crushed. But health came first. Rieu remained ill for several days and required nearly a week to begin feeling like himself again. The experience forced a reckoning within his team. Pierre admitted that long-distance tours like this may no longer be viable. If they ever returned to Mexico, it wouldn't be before 2025, and only with better planning, more rest, and fewer risks. The incident was especially alarming given Rieu's age. At 74, quick turnarounds and long-haul flights are harder than ever. He's not 30 anymore, Pierre said, emphasizing that even though audiences compare his father to younger stars, the physical demands are real and increasingly unforgiving. After his second concert, André smiled backstage, soaking in the love of the crowd. But privately, he confided to his wife that he wasn't sure he could handle such a tour again. André wasn't the only one struggling. The altitude, over 2,000 meters, affected the entire team. Lead singer Donage van Doorn described flushed faces, nosebleeds, and breathlessness during rehearsals. During one performance, she had to pause mid-song just to drink water. Pierre praised his father for knowing when to stop, even though cancelling disappointed 40,000 fans and sent 125 crew members home early. The financial loss was compounded by a lack of insurance for such cancellations. Emma, another performer, recalled going from singing to 10,000 fans one night to hearing the tour was over the next morning. Even walking down the street, fans stopped her for photos, unaware it might have been their final chance to see Rieu in Mexico. Outside the venue, the energy had been electric. Vendors sold unofficial merchandise, and crowds chanted his name long after the encore. No one could have predicted the sudden halt. Back home in